Come on, you know the feeling, that little buzz, that spark you get when you see a number that just feels right, like it's yours. It happens to all of us. But is it really magic? Or is it something incredible happening deep inside your own brain?
Okay, so picture this. You're just going about your day. Maybe you're stuck in traffic, grabbing a coffee. Your mind's kind of on autopilot. And you just happen to glance at your phone or the clock on a building.
And bam, there it is. For just a split second, it feels like the universe is giving you a little nod, a little wink. You might even make a wish. But why? What's really going on in that moment? So what is that feeling? Well, here's the thing. It's not just you. This feeling is like a fascinating little glitch in the human operating system, and it's a huge clue about the amazing pattern-seeking machine you have sitting right between your ears.
All right, to really get a feel for this, let's try a quick experiment. I'm going to need your help, so just play along with me for a second. Don't overthink it. Just the very first number that pops into your head. You got one? Good.
Now, if you picked the number 7, don't freak out. You're not psychic. You and a huge chunk of the entire planet just experienced a really cool quirk of the human mind. And look, I'm not just guessing. This is data. In study after study all around the world, the number 7 gets picked a wild amount of the time. It's part of something called the blue 7 phenomenon. Because, yeah, you guessed it. If you ask people to pick a color, most of them say blue. This isn't some spooky magic. It's just a predictable feature of how we're all wired.
So what's the deal with 7? Well, mathematically, it's kind of a rebel. In that group from 1 to 10, you can't really multiply or divide it with the others and get a whole number. It just stands out. And our brains, on this deep subconscious level, notice that. We project feelings onto it, like it's independent, strong, unique. We relate to the outlier.
So this thing with the number 7 and that little jolt you get from seeing 1111, it's all part of a much bigger picture. This habit our brains have actually has a name, and it's at the core of how you experience the world every single day.
It's called Apophenia. And to put it simply, your brain is a pattern-finding addict. It is absolutely desperate to find meaning and make connections, even when it's looking at pure random chaos.
And this is an ancient instinct. I mean, think about it. For our ancestors, seeing a pattern like, hey, every time someone eats these specific red berries, they get sick, wasn't superstition, it was survival. The brains that were best at spotting patterns were the ones that got to stick around. We're just running that same ancient software today, but now it misfires, finding patterns in lottery numbers instead of poisonous plants. And this creates this incredibly powerful loop. First, you spot the pattern. Maybe you see your number on a player's jersey and your team wins. Second, reward. Your brain shoots out a little hit of dopamine, that feel-good chemical. And third, and this is the most important part, you reinforce it. You remember that one win, and you conveniently forget the 10 other times you saw that number and your team got crushed. That's confirmation bias, plain and simple. But hey, this isn't all just happening inside our own heads. The specific numbers and patterns we latch onto, those are massively shaped by the culture we grow up in and the language we speak. For a perfect example, look at China. The number 8 is seen as incredibly lucky because in Mandarin, the word for 8 sounds a lot like the word for prosper. People will pay a fortune for a phone number packed with 8s. But on the flip side, the number 4 is considered terrifyingly unlucky because it sounds almost identical to the word for death. See? It has nothing to do with the math. It's all about the story we attach to the sound. And these beliefs have very real consequences. In the West, we do it too, with our fear of the number 13. This fear, which actually has a name, triskaidekaphobia, is so ingrained that it costs the U.S. economy, get this, an estimated $1 billion a year from people avoiding travel or business on Friday the 13th. That's a real impact. So why? Why do we do this? Well, a psychologist named Ellen Langer absolutely nailed it. Life is chaotic, it's random, and that can feel overwhelming. We crave what she called an illusion of control. A lucky number is just a handle, something to grab onto, that makes us feel like we have a little bit of say in this crazy random world. And that, right there, brings us to the most important part of this whole thing. After all the science and all the psychology, what's the actual takeaway for you? Well, here's the wild part. In a way, lucky numbers actually work. Whoa, hold on. Not because of some cosmic energy. It's because of the placebo effect. The power isn't in the number itself. The power is in your belief in the number. Here's how it works.
You believe your number is lucky. That belief gives you a little boost of confidence before a big test or job interview. That confidence makes you perform better. You stand taller, you speak more clearly. So in the end, what happened? The number didn't do anything. You did it. Your belief just unlocked the potential that was already there. So, should you fight this instinct? Should you stop believing? Absolutely not. Think of it as a useful mental tool, a little life hack your brain uses to handle uncertainty. If seeing 1111 gives you a tiny moment of hope on a really stressful day, that's a genuinely good thing. It's just your brain managing the static. Because that's the real secret, isn't it? These numbers are just the keys. They're triggers that unlock something that was already inside of you the whole time. Your confidence, your hope, your ability to do great things. So yeah, the magic isn't in the math. The magic is in you. So now I have to turn it over to you. We've gone through the science, but the personal stories are where it gets really interesting. What's your lucky number and what's the story behind it? Let everybody know down in the comments. I'd love to read them.